Beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here today. As always, I have a general reading for you, and as always with a general reading, only take what resonates and leave the rest. It is a timeless message and can represent past, present or future depending on where you're at on your healing journey. Spirit will always guide you to a message that you need to hear exactly when you need to hear it. And for the ease of channeling, I am going to use the pronouns he, she, but by all means swap them out if they don't resonate for you. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look and see what message it wants to come out today. Okay, I'm hearing damage control. And I'm seeing two people, a karmic couple, panicking. Trying to come up with a story. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with that and what's coming out. We have Melahel and I can't pronounce that. Chamhachadlu. Melahel has spoken. I am the light in the darkness. I will guide you back to divine love. All lower energy must bow before my power. Someone was trying to manipulate an earth angel. A karmic couple is panicking because they were trying to manipulate an earth angel and it backfired. They got caught in 4K. Do you know what I'm hearing? I'm seeing a spiritual healer or someone who does divination. So we're talking tarot, pendulums, all that sort of stuff, okay? Who took a break for a long time and I'm seeing a karmic couple, and I'm going to say masculine and feminine for the ease of channeling, but by all means swap out genders where needed, okay? It's purely, I'm seeing this masculine overhearing that this person who's doing tarot or whatever, I'm overhearing them, I'm seeing them overhear a conversation about how this spiritual teacher, however they describe themselves, basically the point is that the spiritual person, the person who actually uses tarot and things to help others and to do readings and things like that, I'm hearing a conversation that they're having with someone being overheard by the masculine in this relationship, and the masculine like, oh brilliant, they're back to it, now we need to get back in, and them going back to a partner, a spouse or another friend, because a couple doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, and saying, like, coming up with a plan to get back in, like they're back on it now, they're, you know, let's get back in with them. And there was a plan to, you know, when someone's trying to get your attention, so they use others, like they'll tag people in things to try and make you jealous and get your attention. That's the energy that I'm feeling, that the plan was to tag someone else outside of their relationship, outside of this couple, tag them in something to try and make another person jealous, to make this person who's doing tarot or whatever readings jealous, to get their attention. But it backfired. One, because this person saw through what they were trying to do, and two, because whoever they tagged put a comment that ultimately got, I'm going to say, the feminine unfriended. Because it feels to me, this feels very much like feminine energy, because this feels to me like bitchy behavior, like mean girl energy. So I'm going to go out and say that a female was the one that did the tagging. right? And whoever she tagged put a comment about wishing ill on others or wishing something on others. I'm hearing hurt people, which I know is not always the case. But there's something about whoever they tagged being in this energy of hurt people, and wishing ill on others. And this couple panicking because they don't want to be seen as mean. But if somebody is comfortable putting something like that on a public space, because this feels like social media, then I have to question, like, what are you doing behind the scenes? Like, because if someone feels comfortable enough to say that in a public forum, in a public space, then they obviously, that's the sort of conversations, potentially that's the kind of conversations you're having behind the scenes, wishing ill on others. Because if you're not correcting it, if you were correcting it in private, they wouldn't feel comfortable enough to say it in public, right? Whether you reacted or responded to it or not is irrelevant. If someone's putting something like that on your public space, and it's going to make people question who you are off of that public space, who you are with that person, right? Because I was going to say any decent human being. It doesn't mean that you're not a decent human being, but that is distorted energy. If you are not correcting people on the way they talk about others, then you're not, how can I put it? That, to me, my personal beliefs is we just don't wish harm on others. Even if somebody has hurt you, you do not wish harm on others. One, because that energy is, you're putting that energy out into the world, and there's enough hate in the world without adding to it. You're adding to collective karma. Send the people that hurt you love and healing, because that's what's going to come back to you. Whatever you put out is going to come back to you. And if you're not correcting people and standing up for what is right, regardless of who these people are to you, then you're guilty by association, right? So I feel like there was a plot and a plan to get back in with some sort of healer, some sort of spiritual teacher, because you wanted access to their knowledge and their information. And that kind of makes me feel really sad, because I'm hearing friend, this spiritual teacher, this person, whoever this is doing the divination, genuinely saw you as a friend. And yes, they may have taken a step back from doing all their spiritual stuff for a time, but where were you to just be their friend? Where were you? Because that then gave the impression to this spiritual divination, this teacher, this healer, this earth angel, that you only want to hang out with them when you want their spiritual knowledge, and that they're not worthy of your time and energy unless they're giving that to you. But the plan backfired, and it feels like this karmic couple is trying to come up with a plan. So it feels to me like this spiritual teacher that saw you as a friend, the mask slipped. They looked at this comment of, if this person is comfortable enough to say that to you on a public space in front of lots of people, you're not correcting them behind closed doors, so to speak, in private, which means I don't trust you to have my back. If someone is saying something horrible about me to you, I don't trust you to have my back. You're not my friend. My friends have my back. It also begs the question of, what have you, like, if you're saying things about other people that have hurt you, are you, like, because this earth angel, this healer, this energy reader can feel you projecting at them. They can feel, which is part of the reason they've taken a step back anyway from you. They could feel you projecting, so they have to question what you've been if you've been gossiping about them. So in that plan to try and make them jealous, it backfired because your mask slipped. The mask slipped. And they saw you. And the thing is they don't want to be attached to mean girl energy. They don't want to be guilty by association. Because if they're associating with you, who whether you're partaking in mean girl energy or not and wishing ill on others or not, if you're connected to someone that is, then that energy is transferable, and you're making them guilty by association, and they're not going to take part in that. So potentially this backfired, and you got yourself unfollowed, you got yourself unfriended. And what I'm seeing here is that this karmic couple then panicked because they got caught out and the plan backfired, and instead of just like taking accountability and admitting fault, they got embarrassed and ashamed that they got caught out. So they've then blocked this energy healer and somebody else connected to them. But all it's done, partly they've done it because they're trying to escape karma, but all it's done is reinforce to this energy healer why they need to stay away from you, why they need to have those boundaries in place and stand their ground. This karmic couple were trying to be controlling and manipulative, and quite frankly this healer is just fed up with the mind games, the manipulation tactics, the taking them for granted just because you want their spiritual knowledge, the not wanting to hang out with them for, just to spend time with them. You only want to like connect with them because you're hoping that you'll get some sort of message or some sort of guidance from them via spirit, which means you don't see them as a friend. You don't see them as a friend. And that is really sad. That's kind of heartbreaking. We have the green here, which is linked into the heart chakra. And I feel like that's why, ultimately, this person is disconnected from you. They may even have blocked you from accessing their spiritual knowledge on their platforms. This person may have a platform, and they may have blocked you because they know that you only want access to them because you want their knowledge. How do you think that makes them feel? We have Metatron and Estania. Be sincere and fearless. There is no point in pretending or changing yourself for other people. Yeah, this spiritual healer, this spirit energy reader is just not pretending anymore. They see through you. They've seen through you for a while. They were just hoping that you would see the truth and that you would come to them in truth and integrity and be honest with them. But they're done pretending now. They're done pretending. They see through your mask. We have Lima and Pushel. Be flexible in every situation of your life. Learn to concede in order to promote the light of peace. Yeah, this healer, this earth angel just wants peace. And it really feels like you've been going out of your way trying to get their attention. Because they haven't been giving you their attention. But this energy healer, this whoever this is, this energy reader, this divination, tarot reader, healer, earth angel, whatever you want to refer to them as, all they've been feeling from you is mean energy. Why would they want to be around someone that's being mean to them? Why would they want that? Where's the self-respect in that? Where's the self-love in that? There's not. This energy is making me so sad. Like, it's heartbreaking. We have Imastar and Diamond. Imastar has spoken. Come to me in the temple of eternal purity. Let me fill your view of the future with a rosy light. All you had to do was go to this person in truth, integrity. Whether that was, the truth was awful or not, this person would have respected you for just telling them the truth. But you tried to be manipulative. You tried to play mind games with them. And now you fucked around with an earth angel and you're about to find out. There's no escaping the karma. You can't. It feels like you blocked them to try and escape karma. Like, oh, if I block you, then I'm the one who's walked away from you. Therefore, you must face the karma. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Let's get some clarification. I don't like this reading. I'm half debating whether or not I'm going to put it out. We have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. You took action, but you didn't have all of the truth. Like, this doesn't feel like inspired action. This feels like impulsive energy. You didn't make conscious choices. You didn't make a conscious choice. It was manipulative. You didn't make a conscious choice. And you didn't expect to get the outcome that you've got. I feel like you've got yourself unfriended. And it feels to me like you made an impulsive decision to you made an impulsive decision with the you made a choice out of fear. It wasn't coming from a place of love, because if you have to manipulate other people to get what you want from them, that's not coming from love. That's no. That's coming from ego. You made a choice to take action. This is with this swords as well. It's giving me social media. You made a choice. You took an action on social media to get a particular result. You didn't get the result you were looking for. I feel there's an element of shock, a surprise, because you didn't expect this earth angel, this energy healer, to respond, because that's what they did. They responded. They didn't react. They didn't react from ego. They didn't react from fear. They looked at the situation. They looked at it from a higher perspective and went, I don't want to be in that mean girl energy. I'm not going to be manipulated into people trying to make me jealous. You've had enough time. You're not coming to me through truth and integrity. You're not coming to me. You only want me because you want my spiritual knowledge and information. And it backfired on you. So you panicked and you blocked them. And I feel like you're kind of regretting blocking them now. But the thing is, you've taken that action, and once an action, you've made a choice and you've taken action on that choice can now not be taken back. So you have no choice but to face the consequences of your action, because it feels to me like you're realizing that by blocking them, you're closing the door. Like, it feels to me like, although you've blocked them, you still want access to them, right? But in blocking them, you've now kind of closed the door on that access. Okay? Does that make sense? We have 2 of chalices. This could definitely be a friendship. It doesn't have to be. Or this is about like a partnership, a friendship. Or you could be... there's something to do with being same sex, okay? Same gender. So whoever this karmic couple is, they could be the same gender, okay? Conflict. You have the 5 of Wands. Yeah, you've created conflict where conflict didn't need to be. Can you see how she's holding on to the wands? Like, she's bent over and she's like holding on to the wands. It feels to me like you've been so stubborn in... Like, so where this energy healer has stood their ground, they've done it from a conscious choice to protect their peace, to protect their energy. Whereas you've been standing your ground from a completely like stubborn place, where you've been like, you haven't been flexible. You've just kind of like, you refuse to take accountability, and you put it on this energy healer. Like, they're completely innocent, and you've tried to get them to take accountability so you don't have to. And in doing that, you've been holding on to all these wands, standing your ground, being really stubborn, and it's created conflict that didn't need to be there. We have the 4 of chalices. yeah, you tried to manipulate this energy healer, this earth angel, into feeling like they were missing out. But now you're the one who's it's backfired on you, because what you wanted for them is now coming back on you. You're the one who's missing out. All because you made a silly choice to manipulate this person, in this energy healer, this earth angel, into feeling jealous and that they were missing out. And that is just silly, petty playground bullshit that this energy healer, I'm telling you now, does not play. The minute they see that energy, they're out there. They're disconnected. Let's get some more clarification. We have the Three of Chalices. Yeah, there was somebody around you in your ear. Something about gossiping. Someone feeding. Someone trying to come between you and this energy healer, and it's not who you think it is. Okay? It's not anyone connected to this energy healer that was trying to come between you and them. Okay? It was somebody on your side. We have the Six of Swords. Yeah, this energy healer knew what was going on from a higher perspective. They could see you and feel you projecting at them. They could feel that what you thought was your intuition wasn't your intuition. It was your ego. Somebody was feeding your intrusive thoughts, your negative thoughts about this earth angel, this energy healer. And they could see what you were trying to do, how you were trying to manipulate them into giving you attention, and how you were trying to manipulate them into getting the information that you wanted from them. And they just walked away. They walked away because they don't play games. They don't play games. Let's get some more clarification. The cards are really slow coming out today, because it just feels like the energy is really like meh, really sad, really, maybe you're feeling really sad, really, maybe you're regretting your choices and your decisions towards this energy healer. Yeah, with that comes out the Three of Swords. We have the Ten of Coins and the Three of Swords. This feels to me like this energy healer unfriending you or blocking you, and then you blocked them because it shook you at your core, because you didn't expect the outcome that you got. You didn't expect them it feels like they've blocked you from some sort of business or something on social media. Maybe not everything, but they've blocked your access on everything they can from their spiritual energy. And it feels to me like I feel like I'm shaking. It's because you got caught out, because you've been found out. because you're realizing they've seen through you. I feel like you're now realizing just how nice they were being to you, because they could have cut you off a long time ago and they didn't. They were giving you the opportunity to be honest with them, and you weren't. I'm not taking all of those. Let's get one more, please, Spirit. One more clarification. But I feel like you're really sad and missing out on them. The Chariot. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. You're starting to see something differently. You're starting to see... I'm just going to grab a quick drink. You're heartbroken because this energy healer, this spiritual teacher, whoever this is to you, is moving forward towards abundance. They're happy, they're successful, they're stable, and they're not showing you that this situation has shook them at all, because their foundations run deep, their foundations are strong. It feels to me of this very much is the energy of, you hurt me, I'm hurting, so I want you to hurt. And the reason I wouldn't say that it hasn't hurt this energy healer on some level, but I think what's hurt them is they haven't gone out of their way to hurt you. They've stepped away because of your actions, okay? They've stepped away and put boundaries in place with you because of how you were behaving towards them. And they can see the manipulation tactics. They can see what's going on. They took a step back and put boundaries in place. And by them putting boundaries in place with you and not allowing you access to their spiritual knowledge, it feels to me like this made you really, really mad because you needed that information. You need that. They're not there for you. But actually, what you've shown them is how you were using them for their spiritual knowledge, and how you didn't see them as a friend, and that if they've put boundaries in place with you and you were like not reacting to those boundaries very well, that those boundaries were valid. So it's just made them realize that they need to stand their ground. You're really upset that your manipulation tactics didn't work. You wanted them to feel like they were missing out because you felt like you were missing out. So you were trying to, this literally comes back to hurt people, hurt people. But if we all continue to do that, then the world is never going to be a better place, because that's the whole reason the world is in this mess in the first place. It's because everyone's going around going, oh, I'm hurt, so I'm just going to go and hurt you. You know, instead of just sitting down and talking things through and being honest with people. Like, I genuinely don't know what this energy reader has done to you other than take a step back. Because they realised that you only wanted their spiritual knowledge, that you didn't want to hang out with them in any other way unless they were providing that information to you. And I genuinely think that they thought it was going to be temporary. But there's been a person outside of you who's been in your ear that's been feeding this, your own ego, your own intrusive thoughts. You've let them get the better of you, and now you've created a permanent separation. I genuinely don't see a way back in for you, because you've now blocked them. Like, they may have blocked you from a personal level, from a professional level, but on a personal level, you've now blocked them, which just proves to them that you don't see them as useful unless they're providing you with their business stuff, their knowledge, their information. But at the same time, you want back in. I do feel like you regret blocking them, but there's almost this energy of, now I can't unblock them. Like, it feels to me like you blocked out of punishment. But for them, it's protection. That if you've done that, then that is spirit protecting them. Like, but you've closed the door to ever being able to reconnect with this person again. At this moment in time, I do not see a reconnection, which I know isn't the result you were looking for, but your actions, this was only meant to be a temporary separation, but based on your actions towards this energy healer, this reader, whoever it is, this other person, you've now created a permanent separation, and you can try and escape karma, but it's not going to happen. You're now going to have to face karma as a result. I feel like you were goaded into continuing to make this person jealous. It doesn't feel like you acted alone. It doesn't feel like you acted alone. It feels like somebody was feeding. It feels like somebody was feeding your fears, feeding your ego, telling you what you wanted to hear rather than telling you the truth. But it feels to me like they're looking at you like, yes, because they wanted to create a separation between you and this energy reader. Let's get some more cards and some more information, more guidance from Spirit about this situation and how they want you to move forward. Like, this energy is just so sad because it didn't have to go this way. Like, I feel like you've been gossiping about this energy healer to others. You have happy sleep pillow. I sleep well and have good dreams. Sleep well and have good dreams. I feel like your sleep is disturbed at the moment. Painting with magic. I don't have to know everything all the time. No, this is the thing. You didn't have all the information. You didn't have all the information. But instead of accepting that you didn't have all the information, you chose to act on the information that you did have. And it's backfired. We have Aqua Luna. I am grateful and blessed. The truth has been revealed, or the truth is going to be revealed. Some sort of truth is being revealed on both sides. We have create a spiral. I am flowing with the seasons. Yeah, the truth about um this, like, I feel like there is a truth for you, or coming in for you, about how your emotions are controlling you and creating this spiral of going round in circles. It's not quite a circle, but it is like a spiral. You allowed your emotions to spiral out of control, and somebody was kind of feeding into that. Your emotions got the better of you. Your feel, you what you were upset and hurt because this healer disconnected from you, and instead of realizing that it might have been something that you've done, like, you, there's just this, like, the moon projects. Like, instead of taking accountability and realizing that actually, like, I feel like your feelings, like some jealousy and resentment came up with regards to this energy healer. Something was triggered within you and you let it get the better of you. You didn't have all the information. Like, but this person, this energy healer, has been completely, I wouldn't say they've been unbothered. Like, I think at first they were bothered because they were just praying that you would do the work necessary so that you could come back together. Now they're unbothered because they see your true intentions and they realize that actually you never saw them as a friend, not a true friend. You just saw them as someone you could use when you needed that extra bit of guidance. And that if you're going to project at them, there's something about needing them to take a responsibility for your life. You were putting what was going on in your life, everything falling apart, you were blaming this energy healer. And because you could see that they weren't reacting to you, you were just like, oh, they're unbothered. No, they're just not going to feed that into that energy. They're not going to feed when they feel like you're trying to do something to get their attention, but they feel like the intention isn't pure and honest. They're not going to feed into that. They're not going to feed into that. This genuinely feels like playground bullshit that has gotten out of control. But there's now, I genuinely don't know if there is a way back for you and this energy healer. My suggestion to you, and what the guidance that is coming in for you, is to focus on yourself, your healing, and doing your shadow work. You cannot change the past, but you can learn the lessons and move forward. Okay? There is an opportunity here for you if you choose to take it. I'm being really drawn to the lavender. Okay? You need to, I'm hearing take a chill pill. Okay? And what I mean by that is that you need to take a step back. You need to take a step back from this situation, and you need to calm down. And I'm not saying your feelings aren't valid. I'm just saying, when you're overly emotional, if you're feeling overly emotional, you're not going to make clear choices. You're not making to make clear decisions. Take a step back, breathe, ground yourself, clear your energy, and make decisions. Make decisions and take action from inspired action, divine guidance, and not impulsiveness. Okay, maybe there's a realization coming in for you, an epiphany, that when you act impulsively, it doesn't work for you. Okay, there's an energy of whatever worked for you in the past is no longer working with people. Okay, so there's a need to take stock, reflect on your actions and your choices, and look at, like, there's something to do with looking at pattern recognition. Look at your actions and choices in the past, reflect on the past, and choices and decisions in the past that you may have done, that you may have made, that have resulted in responses from other people. Okay, because it's not always the other person's fault. Sometimes it's our own fault. Okay, and it's a really hard pill to swallow. But that's the only way I can see. Well, it's not the only way. You have a choice. You have a choice to stay stuck and stagnant where you are, or you have a choice to look in the mirror, reflect on your actions and choices in the past with regard to not just this energy healer, but also other people around you, and maybe take some accountability that, you know, because everyone plays a part. In a lot of situations. Yes, maybe this energy healer could have spoken to you and explained what was going on, but it feels to me like they did, or they were waiting for you to do the work and come back together so they could do that. They may have reached out to you to connect with you and you rejected them, and it may be that they wanted to try and explain something to you, but you rejected them, or you left them on red for like ages, and then when you tried to come back in because you realized they weren't the problem, they like had already disconnected because they could feel your energy. Okay, there's something like that. I think I said something like that in a different reading, but I can't remember which one. Okay, let's end this reading on some affirmations. I may or may not put this reading out. I don't know. It's not the best reading, but somebody needs to hear it. I invite peace within myself. I ripple this outwards. Yeah, this energy healer disconnects because they don't, anything that doesn't create peace from within or doesn't come from a heart space center, it's not for them. Okay, they want to put love and peace out into the world, and they know that to do that sometimes they have to make tough choices in cutting people off, and I feel like that's what happened here. Like, they didn't want to be guilty by association and wishing ill on others. I wouldn't say that's the only reason they cut you off. I would say that that was the ultimate, that was the last straw, okay? Let's get some more affirmations. I am courageous and powerful. Again, there is a message here about being mindful about what you're putting out into the world, how you're talking about yourself, how you're talking about others. Be mindful about what you're putting out into the world. I feel like there's some anger and resentment that you feel like you've been putting things out into the world, like good things, but you're not getting anything in return. You're not getting anything in return because you're expecting something in return. You're not just doing it for the sake of it, okay? That's the difference between you and this energy healer. What the information that they've given you, the advice and guidance they've given you isn't wrong. It's the intention behind it. They are genuinely putting things out into the world because they are a good person. They're not doing it to expect anything in return, but you are, and that's why it's not working for you, okay? There's a need for you to take your power back from this situation. There is a person or a situation around you that is feeding your negative thoughts. They are a bad influence on you. You know who this is, but Spirit are saying it's now time to open your eyes and admit it to yourself, okay? What you do with that information is up to you. If you choose to continue to connect with them, that's absolutely up to you. You are going to continue to spiral though. You're not going to move forward. But I'm not telling you that you have to cut that person off, okay? I'm just giving you the information. You have the free will choice and decisions to decide what you're going to do with that information, all right? Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. You might be dehydrated. Okay, come on. One more, please. One more affirmation. The cards are so slow today. Let's take this one. I flow towards my goal. I am strongly protected as I go. That goes nicely with the Aqua Luna, with the water there. I flow. You need to go with the flow. There's an element of needing to be patient. Like your energy feels very impatient. Things weren't like, there's something to do with you trying to manifest a particular outcome with this situation and you didn't get the outcome that you wanted, but it's the outcome that you needed. Okay? On the bottom of the deck we have, I let go, I release, I am within perfect possibility. Yeah. You need to let go and release this situation. You need to take a step back because you're not responding, you're reacting, okay? You're not taking inspired action, you're making impulsive decisions and they're backfiring on you, okay? And you're just going to keep spiraling. Yeah, I'm going to leave this here. I hope that it helped bring some clarity to this situation. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Namaste.